Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about using percent of change. How to find the amount given the percent of change. How do we do that? Well, the problems can be set up in a couple of different ways. We first need to understand what they're asking though. The first question says, if you start out with $150 and spend 40% of your money on a shopping trip, how much do you have left? Well, when I think about this problem, I'm thinking about spending money. So I start out with 150 and I'm going to spend some of it. So is that going to be increase or decrease is the first question I need to ask. And I really know that that's going to be the amount of decrease. So I know I'm going to end up subtracting. But I really want to set this up in a way that says, well, how much did I spend? And so I think the key words here are of your money, because that allows me to use the percent equation, because I remember that 40% is out of 100. And if I set up this proportion to say 40% out of 100 is equal to some amount of my money that I don't know. So I spent 40 out of 100% of my money, and that's equal to some number of dollars I don't know out of 150 that I had. And so if I solve this proportion here, I'm going to end up with 100x is equal to 40 times 150, and I'll divide by 100. And so I'll punch that into my calculator. 40 times 150, x is equal to, and divide by 100, x is equal to $60. Well, that's not, I'm not done. The question says, how much do I have left? Well, if this is what I spent, I need to do 150 minus 60 is equal to $90 is what I had left. So my amount of decrease was $60 or 40%. There's also another way to set this up, and this is kind of combining a couple of skills that we already know how to do. Your team increased its number of wins by 60% over last year when you had 20 wins. How many games did you win total this year? Well, this 60% can also be written as 0.6. And so if I want to know what 60% of, because I know that of means multiply, I can do 0.6 times 20. Because that's going to give me what 60% of 20 is. Well, that's 12. So 60% of 20 is 12. Well, if I had 20 wins plus an additional 60% plus 12 wins, I'm going to end up with 32 wins. Okay, so there's two methods for finding the amount of increase or decrease. And the last step is to factor it in. So I can either calculate it using a proportion, or I can calculate it using a decimal, and then I add or subtract based on what the problem is asking me. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.